Folks, this is nothing more. This is nothing more than a coup d'etat. And if you don't know what a coup d'etat means, it means that you're overruling a government. And some people said this is democracy. What's happening here today is not a democratic process, it's a dictatorship process. You have, I don't know how the vote's going to go, but if you vote in favor of any of these motions, you are absolutely telling everybody that voted in the last municipal election that their vote does not count. I didn't think it would get to this point, but it has. And I've apologized enough. I've admitted my mistakes. I'm not going to sit here and go on and on and on. There's only so many times you can apologize, so many times you can say, it's my fault, there's no one else to blame but myself. I've said that over and over and over again, but you guys just won't give up. Fine, that's fine. But I think a lot of you don't know my dad or remember my dad, but he was a Bible school teacher. And he said, "He who has never sinned shall cast the first stone, son." And prayer in our family is very important. And he says, you help people when they're down and out. And I've done that for thousands of people before I even got into politics, and so has my family. And in this world, there are more poor people than there are rich people. And I side with the poor people. I'll do everything that you can laugh and giggle. I know. I think you guys think it's a joke. This is not a joke. This is a serious, serious issue that is going to hurt democracy in this city forever. And Michael Thompson asked me, what would Rob Ford do if someone got in trouble on this council? Well, I'm not going to name names, but 2 people on this council got in trouble, drinking and driving. And who was the first person to stand beside them and say, don't worry about it, I'm here to help you, let's move on? It was Rob Ford. It was Rob Ford. Everybody's had their say, the critics, the media, the opposition. I want people to listen to me tonight from 8 to 9 on Sun News. You will get my side of the story. Okay? Unfiltered. This, folks, reminds me of when I was watching with my brother when Saddam attacked Kuwait. And President Bush said, I warn you, I warn you, I warn you, do not. Well, folks, if you think American-style politics is nasty, you guys have just attacked Kuwait. And you will never, you will never see something that you have, mark my words, friends, this is going to be outright war in the next election. And I'm going to do everything in my power.
Okay, Mayor Ford, your time's up.
Everything in my power to beat you guys.
Thank you, Mayor Ford.
What you're doing to me is kicking me out of my office, and it's the worst thing that you can do. I was elected by the people.
Mayor Ford.
I'm mad. You're absolutely right, I'm mad. Because every one of you guys have sinned.
Mayor Ford, your time's up.
And it is absolutely the worst thing you can do for democracy.
Thank you.
In the city of Toronto.
Thank you.
What goes around comes around, friends. Remember what I'm saying. Thank you.
Okay, if we can ring the bells.
At my direction, elements of the 82nd Airborne Division, as well as key units of the United States Air Force, are arriving today to take up defensive positions in Saudi Arabia. I took this action to assist the Saudi Arabian government in the defense of its homeland. No one commits America's armed forces to a dangerous mission lightly, but after perhaps unparalleled international consultation and exhausting every alternative, it became necessary to take this action. And let me tell you why. Less than a week ago, in the early morning hours of August 2nd, Iraqi armed forces, without provocation or warning, invaded a peaceful Kuwait. Facing negligible resistance from its much smaller neighbor, Iraq's tanks stormed in blitzkrieg fashion through Kuwait in a few short hours. With more than 100,000 troops, along with tanks, artillery, and surface-to-surface missiles, Iraq now occupies Kuwait. This aggression came just hours after Saddam Hussein specifically assured numerous countries in the area that there would be no invasion. There is no justification whatsoever for this outrageous and brutal act of aggression. A puppet regime imposed from the outside is unacceptable. The acquisition of territory by force is unacceptable. No one, friend or foe, should doubt our desire for peace, and no one should underestimate our determination to confront aggression. 4 simple principles guide our policy. First, we seek the immediate, unconditional, and complete withdrawal of all Iraqi forces from Kuwait. Second, Kuwait's legitimate government must be restored to replace the puppet regime. And third, my administration has been, as has been the case with every president, from President Roosevelt to President Reagan, is committed to the security and stability of the Persian Gulf. And fourth, I am determined to protect the lives of American citizens abroad. Immediately after the Iraqi invasion, I ordered an embargo of all trade with Iraq, and together with many other nations, announced sanctions that both froze all Iraqi assets in this country and protected Kuwait's assets. The stakes are high. Iraq is already a rich and powerful country that possesses the world's second largest reserves of oil and over 1 million men under arms. It's the 4th largest military in the world. Our country now imports nearly half the oil it consumes and could face a major threat to its economic independence. Much of the world is even more dependent upon imported oil and is even more vulnerable to Iraqi threats. We succeeded in the struggle for freedom in Europe because we and our allies remain stalwart. Keeping the peace in the Middle East will require no less. We're beginning a new era. This new era can be full of promise, an age of freedom, a time of peace for all peoples. But if history teaches us anything, it is that we must resist aggression or it will destroy our freedoms. Appeasement does not work. As was the case in the 1930s, we see in Saddam Hussein an aggressive dictator threatening his neighbors. Only 14 days ago, Saddam Hussein promised his friends he would not invade Kuwait. And 4 days ago, he promised the world he would withdraw. And twice we have seen what his promises mean. His promises mean nothing.